Hi guys, Kayong here from Alpha Play, Chief Currency Strategist. Last week we didn't manage to release any of our weekly video analysis. So for this time round, it's more of a mid-week analysis, and let me walk you through some of the key risk events that we are having. Alright, on Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. Alright, we do have some events that has been released. For example, the UK CPI came in on Tuesday. It was less than estimate. Alright, however, on the US side, alright, in both CPI and core CPI, both CPI beat the expectation and CPI came in 0.2, alright, in line with the estimate. So this gives some bullish momentum as well as sentiment towards the dollar. Moving into tonight's later on, we have the FOMC meeting minutes. We are expecting that the Fed will maintain its slight hawkish tone, and this might provide some support in terms of the US dollar overall. Alright, and what we are seeing today, earlier today, is that Japanese have their prelim GDP release, and it came in better than expected. Alright, 0.4% versus the estimates of 0.1. This gives Japanese yen some strength as well. And pound, surprisingly, alright, today the two data that came in, average earnings index, or it came in better than expected. Clement count change came in way better than estimates as well, right? And what we are seeing now in the market is that the pound is rallying. All right, so today the focus really will be FOMC, and later part of tomorrow will be Australian employment change, unemployment rate, followed by Friday. All right, will be on the Canadian core CPI and retail sales. Okay, so let me bring you to the charts. Alright, there are quite a few setups, potential entries that we personally won't be actively trading simply because of FOMC later today, but they are still valid setups that we'd like to share with you in this video. And down in the link below, you'll be able to also download the overall list, alright, of, I would call it, setups, potential setups, or some might just call it as signals. Alright, what we include inside is of course the entry point, stop loss, and take profit. Right, but a little disclaimer that do not just simply trade them on surface value. Alright, take them as to whether it aligns with your trade plan, and you make a decision based on that. So let me walk you through all the pairs that we are trading. Alright, you can see the last couple of hours, pound has been rallying across all the currencies, not only in terms of the cable pound dollar, but across all currencies, pound are strengthening. All right. On a side note, we are taking we are sitting on the sidelines regarding all the pound trades simply because we are getting near towards the Brexit referendum. All right, taking place in June. Right, so in that is very similar to the previous event, when Greece is deciding whether to exit Eurozone and etc. So what we want to do is we want to sit on the sidelines for any pound trades, not taking them at all. Alright, so having said that, let's look at some of the potential setups that we are looking at. Alright, over here we have dollar yen. Alright, we have a divergence playing out. Okay, but we don't just simply trade on the divergence, so we need more confirmation. Of course, with FOMC coming up, this setup will either be invalidated, alright, or price will eventually break below this neckline. Alright, we are waiting for price to break below this, and should price breaks below this with, let's say, a dovish FOMC, we'll be waiting for the retracement to enter back at this structure level. Okay, so for dollar yen, nothing much. We are still just monitoring the development of price. Australian dollar, nothing much as well. Kiwi dollar, not much of a setup. Alright, in terms of dollar Canadian, we do have a potential butterfly pattern setting up. The entry level that you want to keep an eye on is at 1.3080. Alright, this is where we're gonna short should price comes up and show a rejection of this level. Another thing to note is that in about 10 minutes time, after I record this video, right, in about 10 minutes time, we do have the US oil inventory as well, alright, and that's gonna definitely affect the Canadian, followed by FOMC affecting the dollar, alright. So this pair is gonna be very tricky if you decide to trade onto it, right? Suggest you to just keep a close eye as to what is gonna happen. Right, Euro Yen, right, what we have over here is a bullish Gartley pattern. Completion is around at 122.05. If you look left, right, we do have very nice structural support level in the past as well. But having said that, with the positive Japanese GDP, prelim GDP released earlier today, longing this pair, which is equivalent to shorting the Japanese yen, you might want to be cautious because of going against the fundamental. So having said that, that's just one data. I'm not saying that with the positive prelim GDP better than estimates, Japanese yen is definitely going to be strengthened. Just something for you to note. Alright, so this pair, the entry level the one monitor is at 122.05. Right, looking at pound yen, though we are not going to trade it, just going to share a view. If you are still looking to short the pound, fundamentally the pound is still weak. But today's data release in terms of their earnings report as well as the Clement count change is really a surprise to the upside. There is a potential bad pattern completing around at 161.75. Right, so if you are looking at this is a level to keep an eye on. Having said that, my personal opinion or suggestions on this is to not trade it. Simply skip this pair. For Aussie yen, nothing much. Canadian, Japanese yen, alright, very similar to the Euro yen. We do have a bullish setup. This is a bullish bad pattern. The level to look at is at the 82.60 level. Right, trading this pair, Canadian yen, the key focus will be later on US oil inventory as well as on Friday the Canadian core CPI and retail sales. Alright, keep an eye on that. New Zealand yen, very similar again. All the yen pair setups are pretty similar. Alright, all bullish. This is a bullish Gartley. Completion level is around 72.95. Once again, on the side note, right, manage your risk exposure. If you're trading on all the yen pairs, you might be overexposing yourself on the Japanese yen. Okay, so if you decide to trade all this setup, do take note that you are properly managing your risks. Right, Euro pound, nothing much. This entire downward momentum movement is really due to the strengthening of pound in the last couple of hours, right? And we are looking at price breaking the previous structure already. If you zoom up to the daily time frame, we do have a lot of room for this to drop. Alright, the next support resistance level, structural level, will be around the 0.7540. Right, a huge room for it to continue dropping. Right, but having said that, once again, we are not taking any pound trades, just for your decision. Alright, just analysis and my personal point of view. Euro Kiwi, nothing much. Euro Aussie, nothing much as well. What we are seeing here is a consolidation. Alright, breakout traders can look for a potential breakout either to the upside or to the downside. Our bias on Euro Aussie is still to the upside simply because of the dovish stance from RBA, alright, as well as the recent rate cut from RBA as well. Right, so our bias is to the upside. Pound Aussie, once again, we are seeing a very clear uptrend, alright, coupling the strengthening of pound as well as the weakness of Aussie. Again, we are skipping all the pound trades. Similar to pound Aussie, pound New Zealand is still moving upwards. Okay, Aussie Canadian, again, this is on the downside simply because RBA cut its rate, taking up a dovish stand, and Canadian fundamentally is slightly bullish, alright. So we are definitely looking, we are holding a short position on this. We shorted at this previous structure level. Currently with a slight profit, we are aiming for this to be a trend continuations trade. Not sure what's going to happen, alright, but what we can do is simply manage our position. Right, as of now, there's no new setup on this pair. For those who traded, this simply just manage your position. Similar on pound franc with all other pound pairs. It's just rallying. All right. Once again, don't trade pound for us. We suggest that you also skip them. All right. Gold itself, we have a bearish bad pattern. Right. Completion is around the 1300s. Again, FOMC will be a major movement for the commodities market. You might want to take note of that. Right, so let's move to the other portfolio and see if there's any other pairs that I can share with you. Dollar franc, all right, we are seeing that price has broken the previous high and is still moving upwards. Having said that, FOMC is definitely going to decide, whether it's going to go up or it's going to come back down. Okay, so there's no setup as for now. Euro franc, we have a bullish bad pattern. Right, completion level is about around the 1.0970. Looking left, we do have some minor structure level at that level. Canadian franc, nothing. Aussie franc, nothing. New Zealand franc, we have a bearish bet. Completion level is at 0.6755. Right. Looking left, we also do have some nice structural resistance level. Okay. Aussie Kiwi, nothing. Chef Japanese yen, right, is a bearish bet. Completion level is at the 11440. Looking left, there's not much in terms of structural resistance level. Okay, so this is purely just a pattern trade or a pattern setup. We are not really in favor of taking this trade. But having said that, all Fibonacci levels are aligned, and people who trade patterns might be interested to look at this. EuroCAD, again, right, similar to one of the earlier pairs that I shared with you, what it's doing now is consolidating. Breakout traders can look to trade the breakout of this. New Zealand CAD, bullish bet, alright, completion at 0.8620. We are not in favor of taking this trade again. Fundamentally, New Zealand isn't very bullish. There's no reason for buying the Kiwi at this very moment. Right. So again, just a setup, right, to keep an eye on. Pound Canadian, not taking any pound trades once again, but you can see it's moving higher. It has broken its previous high structural level. So for those who are simply trading on the trend, you can look for a retracement and trend continuation setup. Okay, let's move to the index. All right, German DAX, we have a bearish setup. All right, fundamentally the equities market should be moving higher, but we never know what's going to happen. All right, we can still take this as a counter trend trade based on the retracement. All right, so you enter and then exit, quickly protecting your capital and profits. All right, the completion level of this pattern will be around the 10,400 levels. All right, 10,400 levels. Very similar in terms of the S&P market, right? We also have a bearish pattern. This is a Gartley pattern. So completion level will be about the 2,100. But having said that, it's still a huge room for it to move up. About 500 ticks before this pattern is completed. And with FOMC in mind, depending on what the tone is going to be, hawkish or dovish, it's definitely going to affect the S&P market. Right, for Singapore traders, alright, closer to home, what we are looking at over here is the dollar sink. We do have a major divergence setting up. Once again, we are not trading the divergence directly like this. We want a confirmation, and the confirmation will come when price breaks this structure level. Right, what we are waiting for is for this to break. Wait for a retracement up, and you take that retracement. All right, we want to have more confirmation. Again, with dollar in this pair, FOMC meeting minutes will definitely decide the fate of whether this divergence is gonna work out as we predicted. Having said that, alright, that's all for this video, right? It's a very simple walkthrough of all the currency pairs that we're looking at, some of the setups that we have identified. Again, we are not telling you to just trade them, just to share with you some of our insights. And with FOMC major news coming in, always ensure that you are managing your risk. Right, trade according to your plan, and I'll see you soon.